That way. All right, g'day guys, how we doing? Bless me. There's a bit of la-di-da dust around, and the dust gets me. The dust always gets me. But anyway, we should be all right. We will recover. We will survive. I know. We would typically have a horse with us, but I'm facing the other way because it's the morning, so the light's all different. But I'll tell you what, I can show you. Voila. Hello. Violet's hanging out here, but Violet's not going to be in camera this time. Violet's going to be hanging out on the other side of the camera. Whew, your breath stinks, girl. All right. Bring you around here. Here we go. Okay, team. We've got this picture here. We're about to start attacking it. I think I might. Will I get this light here on a slightly different angle? I've got a big old light. I'm going to put it in a better spot. Here we go. Just move it around to here. See if I can't hit that picture on a beautiful angle. There we go. Is that helping me? Is that helping? I think that's helping. There we go. You got a ball there, buddy? That's cool. That's cool. All right. I think that's good. Is that good? Sort of. There we go. Beautiful. We've got a little bit of coffee here. That's exciting. Now, is that having a good impact or a bad impact is the question. Let me just test it without it. It's a good impact. It's a definitely, if it comes on, it's a little bit stark. We'll turn it down just a little bit. There we go. And if there's some marks on my clothes, Barnaby leapt up before, ruined my shirt. Didn't you, buddy? You want to do it again? Come on, up. Up. You're too interested in your ball? Fair enough, I get it. Priorities, buddy, over there. Okay, let me whack this here. The lighting is helpful. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, one key thing about coffee is we better keep it safe, otherwise we don't want any to get on the dog. Otherwise, then I really will be in trouble. Good morning, Johnny. How are we doing? We're working on a genre piece at the moment, I'd say. Genre piece, we've got a boy sitting down and a dog here. We've got one more layer to add to it. It's going to be fun and wild. Lots of Ooh, it's all right, actually. Coffee's lukewarm. There's no way the dog was going to burn himself on that. So lots of transparency gels. That's going to be fundamental, and we're just going to rip into it. Without further ado, see where it takes us. Off with this here. Whew, noisy, noisy. I know, Barnaby, but I've got to sit up here a little bit. If you can bear with me for a second, buddy. That brush down there. Whew. Excuse my sniffing, guys. There's a bit of hay fever hanging around, and it's doing a wee bit of a number on me, but we will manage. We will manage. I'm just wondering where I want to put this photo. Just put it up here for now. There we go. Just like that. Oh, if it will stay. There we go. Beautiful. Now, first colour off the ranks is going to be our lighter tones. Isn't that right, boy? Lighter tones, that's too light. Talking like a yellow cross with white. That'll be perfect. Did you ever paint something scary for Halloween? No, I didn't. Sorry, how boring of me. And thanks, Bran. Appreciate you. Hey, AJ. I know. There you go, buddy. Have never painted something scary for Halloween before. Typically like to do happy stuff. Sounds cheesy. I like happy. There's enough scary stuff out there. There's not enough happy stuff. So, responsibility on that. And thanks, AJ. All right, a little bit of this. This is our transparency fluid. Allows us to layer things up without losing the undertones we've already worked on. And one fun thing here, guys. You're not the only people enjoying the show, we've got a friend. This is Violet. Violet's hanging out, and Violet is going to be supervising. So if anyone acts up, then Violet's going to come get you. No, normally I have the camera around the other way so Violet can join in. But in this case here, Violet's going to be on the other side just because of the way the light is. So evening things, other way around, is how it is. Yeah, Violet says hi, everyone. At least, I think I speak Horsener well enough to know that Violet says hi, but I am just guessing. And again, excuse my sniffles. Hay fever. Whew. She's a wild ride. Hay fever. I know, Barnaby, you've got a ball, and we're all very, very impressed with your ball fetching skills. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Woo! There we go. Let's put that one up there now. Lovely. Get that stuck down. Perfect. Alrighty tighty. We're about to get it going. Nettle will help with hay fever. It's handy advice, Ash. Thank you very much. Imaginary, we are painting a delightful scene of a little fella and his dog. And we're on the final coat. The fast drying mediums. So hopefully we can bring us, oh, look at you. Guys, you're missing out on the best view right now. We've got a little helper right here who just cannot get enough of what's going on. How you doing, Violet? You good? You good? Yeah, you're good. Here we go. We're going to bring your rack around this way. I know. Barnaby's addicted to that ball right now. But there we go. He's going to go for a little bit of a chew somewhere else. We've got some serious wind outside. Power outages around Auckland. So it's an interesting time, team. It's an interesting time here in New Zealand. I'm safe and sound, but there is some wild stuff going on. That just doesn't want to stick, does it? Oh. We do need our image, though. That is the most important part of the whole equation. I think maybe I might have some better tape in here. Here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alrighty tighty. Here we go. This is the stronger stuff. Day's going good. Day's going good. I've got a photography session planned. I got a dog that escaped. Not this one, the other one. So that was annoying. So I thought it was going to take longer to capture the dog than it did. That's Zuma. That's the other smaller dog. But we got him pretty fast. Once I caught him, I'd already arranged the meetings at different times. So, excuse me, hay fever, man alive. It should be raining, so it should be down with the dust. But anyway, here we are. So you're having nature in the back with the noise. Yeah, I like a bit of nature in the background. The sea's an easy one. The sea's the one place, if you're really used to painting with music and you're thinking, I'd like to try and move out of music, but every time you don't have it on, you just can't get in a flow state, can't get creative without music going on in the background. One thing I'd recommend is try playing, going to the sea and having the sound of the sea in the background, because sometimes that can have an awesome effect on just providing relaxation for you. Excuse me. I love that white noise sound of the sea. It's therapeutic, such a buzzword, but it is therapeutic. It is what it is. There we go. There we are. And down through here. There we go. Just dabbling these colours onto our little doggy here. It might rip the paint off. What might rip the paint off? And I wish I was in Texas warmth right now. It's a little bit chilly here. It is a little bit chilly. And thanks, AJ. Ooh. Jeepers, Sky LA. That is wild. That is wild. I'm not sure what the temperature is here right now, but trust me, it is on the cold side of things. We are dealing with some cold temperatures, but that's okay. We will persevere. But it is cold. In the deep, dark hills of eastern Kentucky, there's a place where I trace my bloodline. And hello, Ryan. Welcome on in. AJ, still at the top of the list there, you absolute champion. Roses are kind of fun like that. I wish one day, imagine being special enough to get a bouquet of 150 roses. Like in real life at your door. That's so many roses. You borderline run your water cylinder out of water trying to fill up all the jars for them. Hello from Ireland. We've got, at the moment, we've got Bada Bing. We've got Johnny in here from Ireland. Another person in here from Ireland. Stacked. Jeepers creepers. Hay fever's out like storm at the moment. My one weakness. My one great weakness. Thanks, Ryan. No way you drew you. I don't understand that sentence. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Excuse my sniffing. We got the sniffles, but we ain't stopping. That's my quote of the day. Sniffles never stopped a true artist. Unless they were really bad sniffles, in which case that would stop a true artist. But we're here with our sniffles today. With our sniffles today. Ah. Here we go. Did you lose your ball, Barnaby? Yes, you did. I know. I better go just grab Barnaby's ball, guys. 1 second. Ryan, you're an absolute legend, mate. Appreciate you. Take a teaspoon of raw honey a day in the morning. Ooh, all right, Natalie, that's exciting. Give me just a second here. That wasn't easy to find. It was right there in the back. Right under the cabinets. Old mate still hanging out here. Look at you, mate. You want to read the comments for me? You'd be really helpful if you read the comments for me. Would you do that? Yes? No? Doop. Doop. He's not going to read the comments for me. No. He's not going to read the comments for me. We'll spin that round to there. There we go. Perfect. The dog's name is Barnaby. Great dog. Not the smartest dog on the face of the planet, but a great dog. There we go. Let's have a look through there. There we go. A bit more in here. Now we're talking. Just like that. Some bright vibrancy. Bring this in with the citrusy yellows. That's what we're working with at the moment, citrusy yellows. Does he get cold, the dog? No. No, the dog's always all good. Me, on the other hand, I freeze. There we go. Right the way around the edge there. Beautiful. We're going to do lots of homework here. Have to go around that edge because, hey, don't lick my coffee. Don't lick my coffee. Naughty. That's the place that I trace my bloodline. And it's there I saw on a hillside gravestone. You'll never leave Harlan alive. Oh, thanks, Natalie. I actually only recently got my gym membership back. I cancelled it in favour of bands, but I joined this new gym that's got no volume to their music, which I love. Because, guys, I like a bit of peace and quiet when I work out. I'm weird like that. Sometimes I like speakers, but typically, give me that nice, quiet environment. Peaceful. Peaceful. I like that. But I know that's not for everyone, but this particular gym does that, so that's nice. But honestly, I probably only go, I haven't been this last week, real bad actually. I probably only go 3 days a week. And then I try and run, walk, whatever's around the other days. Here we go. When the sun comes up, about 3 in the morning and the sun goes down. Oh, thanks, guys. Give the painting a chance, though. It'll come together. It'll come together. It's a really fun, sort of more abstracty-like painting because it's got this lovely big background that sort of brings the whole thing together with a bit of wild paint. Got a mixture of paints here. We've got some oils and some acrylics. So the oils create this crackle effect with the acrylics. It's really fun. There we go. My hair's coming out into the paint. Got rid of that. There we go. Beautiful. And we're going to get a little bit of blue here too. A little bit of blue, because what that's going to do is it's going to splice into those yellows. Splice into yellows means we're going to get a bunch of lovely, fitting green. Not a complementary green, more of a harmonious green. If we mix the green from the primaries that we've used on the surface, the green will fit in better. And since it's not going to match the pastel tones we've already added in here, It's important the green actually plays nicely. Did you lose it again, Barnaby? My lord. My lordy lordy. I'll bring you with me, guys, to show you what's happening here. This is when Barnaby starts barking, this is what's happened here. Come with me. So you've got Violet down there, Violet's hanging out, and then through this way is what's happening to Barnaby. Over here, turn the light on. So Barnaby's here. And Barnaby's been chewing on his ball, and he's knocked it under this cabinet here. So I have to get down on my hands and knees, and then where all these bugs are, I'm going to reach under, and pull it out, and that is what Barnaby wants. Look at him, he's happy now. There you go. You want the ball? There you go. Wow. Okay, coming back over here. And now, inevitably, old mate, hello, you good? You're good. Inevitably, what's going to happen is in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I think it's been wishful, I reckon give me 3 to 5 minutes, Barnaby's going to go back over there, he's going to push it back under, he's going to start barking. He's a fairly silly dog. I'm fairly convinced he does that on purpose because he knows that I'll come over and give him some attention if I haven't been throwing the ball enough. So that's just the life I live. Here we are. Let's bring you over here a bit more, team. Sorry. There we go. You should try to listen to Sophie. What's Sophie saying? Did I miss what Sophie was saying? No, Sophie. I think I've been doing good. There we go. And let's get a little bit of blue in here. Here we go. A little bit of blue. Splice it up. There we go. No, Sophie? Yeah, Jay, I'm with you, mate. I don't know what this Sophie carry-on is all about. I feel like I've been left out of something important. There we go. We're going to do something quite radical here, actually. I'll put this down over here. Grab this here. I know, buddy. And I lift it up just past it there a wee bit. And the reason why I'm going to do that is it lets me get that texture up over the top. Like I said, this one isn't been framed, and so it's really important to actually make sure you get just over that edge so then the whole thing gets this beautiful finish on it. Good to see the lawnmowers, John Deere. You betcha. You betcha. There's a country song I like too. Here he goes. It's called, it's a John Deere tractor. He says, take you for a ride on my big green tractor. We can go slow or maybe go faster. Such a cheesy song, but I like it. Down through the woods and out through the pasture. As long as I'm with you, it really don't matter. Kind of true, though. Kind of true. What's up? What's up, big buddy? There we go. There we go. Dabbles of paint up through there. And let's... As long as I'm with you, it really don't matter. Climb up on the sides and drive if you want to. Girl, you know you got me to hold on to. Baby, if you're down, maybe if you'd rather, I'll take you for a ride on my big green tractor. Oh, no. Get a song caught in my head. Let's not go as far as to say I sing, though. That's, my high school teacher thought I was tone deaf. Laughed at me, actually. Laughed at my attempts to sing. Now, that didn't stop me from singing. But it made me realize that maybe singing wasn't something I should do in front of multiple people, which obviously I'm breaking that rule right now because you're all here. But that being said, at a certain point in your life, I think you hit your 30s. I'm 30 years old now. And you move past a few things. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to sing in front of people, even if it doesn't sound perfect. Because otherwise, I'm going to enter my 40s not singing, my 50s not singing, 60s, 70s, and then I won't be able to sing at all. And once I can't sing at all, I wonder why I didn't spend more time in my 40s, 50s, 30s, 20s, and teens singing. Don't leave yourself with regrets, team. Get out there and have some fun. There we go. Beautiful. Sort of a deeper, darker pastel that we're throwing around here. In the deep, dark hills, eastern Kentucky. That's the place that I trace my bloodline. And it's there I saw on a hillside gravestone. Never leave. Here it comes, guys. He's literally trying to push his ball under that thing again. It's literally what he's doing right now. So when you hear a bark, it means he's successfully lost his ball and now he wants attention. And that happening, this world, is the world we live in. It's the reality. Johnny, are you going to paint something for me? Johnny, absolutely I'm going to paint something for you. Absolutely. Have you flicked me a message? I sent you one the other day, actually. I sent you one the other day. I'll send you through my email too, Johnny, because sometimes when we coerce via Instagram, I can lose track of things. There's our buzz. There is our buzz. I know you lost it. Don't you feel silly? There we go. You gotta leave him for a little bit so he actually learns that actually if he loses it, he doesn't get it straight away. Otherwise, the value add of getting my attention immediately is just too worthwhile. He'll keep doing it. You gotta make him wait for a while so he thinks, actually, is it better to have the ball or do I want to lose it for an extended period to get Seb's attention? These are the questions. Now he's trying a little bit harder. We're not going to give in. We ain't going to give in. There we go. Next color. I know. You lost your ball and you feel silly. Who's learning their lesson now? All right. He's like, Dad, just play with me. Yeah, he is. He is. But he has to learn, guys. He has to learn. Look at him growling away there. Hey, good news is my hay fever's going down. My hay fever is going down, which is very exciting. Do I have all my brushes here, though? Yes, I do. That's fantastic news. Onto this brush, personal favourite of mine. We'll give it another 2 minutes, and then we'll get the ball for him. Onto the browns. This is quite a poppy brown, but the reason we're going to add this in is it's going to work really nice with the yellows, and then after this has been added, we'll come on in strong with some pinks and magentas. Strong. And you'll be like, I didn't realize you could get so much pink in a picture. And I'll be like, well, you can. That's not going to be the conversation at all. But it could be. Here we go. Let's devil this around here a little bit. Just some little bits of brown. There's a handle there. And down through here. And down here. There we go. In the deep, dark hills. I know, but you have to be patient. You have to learn the art of patience. Yes, you do. There we go. A little bit down through there. And a little bit there. We done there with the face? Not just yet. I'm gonna dabble a little bit more. He's persistent, but I'm not giving in. Not off the bat. I'm not going to be that easy. Hey, Victoria, how we doing? And yes, flares up big time. I typically find if I know it's going to be a day where I spend it outside or inside with a lot of dust, I'll take an antihistamine preemptively. But because once you get it, it's sort of too late. All your nose and things all flare up. Then you're dealing with this flared up situation. In the deep, dark hill. That's long enough, guys. He's learned. I'm going to grab the ball. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Bow, 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 bow. Wada, bow, bow, down. La-dee, down. There we go. Treats, look at that. And you're right. Now I've got some treats here too. Oh, you're giving up on the ball now. Ball's not worth it. This is more valuable, is it? Is it? You were very patient, but you did bark 5 times. Okay. There you go. Alrighty tighty. Let's have a little look-see here. And slap around this, just in a few of these little areas. Just in a few of these little spots. Don't you go put it back down there, Barnaby. On a hillside gravestone, you'll never live hauling alive. So you'll see, it sort of has a banana-y effect. What's that dessert, the New Zealand dessert, the one, banoffee pie. Brown and yellow gives a banoffee pie vibe. And that's what we're giving this painting right now. Now we're going to dismantle that a little bit when we start throwing around the magenta. But for right now, it's everything we need. Everything we need. How's Chase? Bad news, Victoria. Bad news. Chase has passed on. So we love Chase to bits. We love Chase to bits. But part of the reason why Barnaby's a little bit more needy right now is he did lose his boy. Now Chase lived a long, long life. He lived deep, deep into his dog years. So we're not sad. We're not sad it's terrible. But actually, at the same time, Chase got plenty of time. Hello, Steve. How we doing? Good to have you here. Steve, you missed the stream yesterday. Well, you caught the first one, but then we were live again, and we were doing some layers on the Hula Girl. Not a whole lot, but I think I posted the reel for it already on TikTok. But yeah, pretty fun. Coming together in a pretty cool kind of a way. There we go. In the deep, dark hills. No, you did a naughty thing, Barnaby. You knew this was going to happen. You've done it again. You've done it on purpose again. And you know I was busy. You knew I had to make some paintings today. Zero respect. Zero respect. And the worst thing about this whole thing, guys, the worst thing about it is he knows I'm going to give in. He knows I'm going to give in and get him the ball. Because I'm an absolute pushover like that. But before I do, I'm going to get upset about it while I paint. Jules, you're 100% right. Well, I think the real boss is actually behind us here. Hold on, I'll show you. Let's spin you around. Thanks, Danity. Danity? Yeah, here we go. What you doing, Violet? Violet's just hanging out. It's pretty fun. Bring this one down here. Put you back where you were. Violet's just being curious. She was way more curious yesterday while we were doing the Hawaiian dancer. And the reason she was super curious is she was interested in the smell of the egg. She was like, this is interesting. What's going on here? This isn't the usual smell. I'll leave you here with Violet for a second, and I'm going to go grab that ball again. Barnaby, unbelievable. You know what you're doing. Where'd you put it? My bloodline, and it's there I've been on a hillside gravestone. Excuse me? Excusez-moi? Excusez-moi. You will never leave Harlan alive till the sun. Oh, sorry, guys. You're facing Jeepers. Sorry. I went back to painting and just had it still facing the dog. Yeah, Violet definitely beats me on hosting. She's a lovely horse, though, and that's the thing about Violet that makes her such a fantastic horse for children, is she does have that incredible level of patience, which is so important if you're going to deal with young children, both as a teacher or as a horse. Now, the next colour off the ranks that's coming into this picture is our very, very intense magentas. That's the plan. That is the plan. Before we do that, we're just going to dabble with a few little spots of colour. Up and away, up and away, yeah, they gon' tell me every day, so whatever. All right. Do I have kids? No, I don't right now, but I do have a lovely, lovely little girl on the way. And what's really cool about that is a little girl is going to meet Barnaby, and hopefully Barnaby learns to chill out a wee bit, because Barnaby can be quite full on. And I'd like the relationship between my daughter and Barnaby to be a positive one. But that's going to involve Barnaby learning. And just bring the intensity down, just 2 or 3 notches. But we'll see. I think once Barnaby meets a child, I think Barnaby will become, gooey, protective. I'm hoping, because Barnaby's got a few little dogs that hang around with him all the time. A little one called Zuma. And Zuma bites Barnaby's ears and charges at Barnaby and growls at him. And Zuma's tiny, but the thing about it is Barnaby has endless patience for it. He never, ever gets angry at Zuma. So I think that's really a promising trait when it comes to children, because the fact that he never gets angry is great. It's just great. So if he tolerates getting bit and harassed by a little dog 24/7, then I don't think there's anything a little child can do to upset him. Yeah. That's the plan. That's the plan. A little bit more yellow in here. Mix that in. Voila. Get that poppin' Banoffee colour. I wouldn't be surprised if Resine had a paint called Banoffee. They totally do, eh? Resine totally has a paint called Banoffee. There's no way they've missed that opportunity. got every other name under the sun. There we go, right around the edges. Pardon me. I blame that on the coffee. In the dim, dark hills, eastern Kentucky. Yeah, that's the place where I trace my bloodline. And it's there I learned on a hillside gravestone, you never live harder than alive. There we go, all the way down. Excusez-moi, as I just get these last little points. There we go, beautiful. What did I miss here? Eric, you absolute champion from EPCO Relations. Barnaby. And Wolfgang, thanks both of you, absolute legends. Booking your reference picture and your painting. Looking at your reference picture and your painting, I don't know what art style is it. I don't know your art style. The art style here, well, the picture itself is a little ambiguous. Barnaby, it's not under there. This is the picture. Person and a dog, big background, lots of posts going in all directions. Very, very, quite an abstractish sort of a picture in its own right. And thanks, Vernon. But, the picture we're creating here wants to capture a bunch of colour, wants to glorify the dog, keep turning around. It's a surprise. You turn around, there's a cowboy hat on your head. It's the whole thing. You could say, I mean, we have this conversation all the time. Is it Impressionism? Is it modern Impressionism? Is it a combination of primalism and Impressionism? I reckon any artwork that still uses a paintbrush, regular paint, and a paintbrush, regular paint, and a canvas is Barnaby. It's not under there. Hold on, guys. It's not under there. It's not. Eastern Kentucky. Here we go, buddy. Let's get this sorted out for you. I've got a plan to fix this. Let's get this. There we go. Problem solved. Should have done it before, team. Should have done it before. What I've done now is I've just put a little blockade to stop him from pushing it under. That way, he's forced now to... Where'd you lose it? What'd you do? What'd you do now? Where did you put it? Where'd you put it? Oh, you put it under there. Jeepers creepers. He's not the smartest dog. Intelligence. Barnaby, it's just there. Intelligence was not what Barnaby got a whole lot of when they were handing out traits. Barnaby decided to trade in most of his intelligence for enthusiasm. Here we go. And I don't think that's a bad trade. I actually commend it, to be honest. Hello, Tim. How we doing? And Natalie, thanks for joining in. You absolute champion. Have yourself a good day. And I didn't catch where you were in the world, but I assume if you're on the move, maybe it is midday. Midday? It's early morning here. Early morning? Nah, it's going on lunchtime now. It's going on lunchtime. Had to fetch a dog. The other dog was the one that ran off, actually. That had me caught up doing a errand for most of the day. Morning. But he's back now. Old Zuma. Likes to run off. Naughty, naughty. But he's a lovely dog. Lovely dog. But he's got this fascination for ducks. And that means that he gets wildly excited and runs off after some ducks. So I can't go and tell them to stop loving ducks so much. There we go. Just doing this right-hand side of the frame just a little bit. There we go, beautiful. Now we're going to put this plate down. Down with that plate. Up with the next plate. What have you done there, buddy? Oh, he's... Okay, you guys are going to love this. 8 p.m. in Texas. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Fantastic. I was going to say Barnaby's over there, just out of sight, and Barnaby has his ball, and he's trying to push it under the thing again to lose it, so I come and get it for him. But I put a towel down there so it won't go under, and so now I just look over and he's just looking at me with his ball, like sitting there where he can reach it. He knows he hasn't achieved it yet, but he can't understand how we can... Anyway, it's very funny. We've won. We've won. Okay. Famous last words, eh? New plate. Love this plate. This is a commercial plate. This is a... commercial plates are actually, if you can get them from an op shop, are some of the best ones to use because the porcelain doesn't get... the paint hates sticking to this stuff. It literally... Hot water will wash off almost anything from it, even oil sometimes. When I use the water-based oil paint, which sounds like, wait a minute, that doesn't exist. It does, they've invented it now. It's oil paint, it still functions like oil paint. It's buttery and intensely coloured, but the actual paint itself can be washed off with just soap and water, like a regular water paint, which is double thumbs up. Now, just because it says water-based doesn't mean it's free of solvents and all the crazy stuff that goes in paint. You cannot do this in an unventilated space. And my typical rule when it comes to a ventilated space, guys, don't listen to a single video on YouTube that says a ventilated space is a cracked window in a room. That is 5 walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you've cracked a little window on it. That is the opposite of ventilation. That is, I mean, ventilation's a variable term, I get that, but make sure you've got a big open space. 1 wall is okay. That's the typical rule I'd apply. Once you get more than 1 wall, start thinking, ooh, is this really where I want to be breathing in these tough fumes and paints? And like, I mean, I annoy people in art stores because I'm constantly asking for every little ingredient, trying to figure out the ratios of the ingredients inside the paints, which obviously these are protected recipes of the paint companies and things, but I need every little bit of data I can get because I want to make sure I know what I'm putting on my paintings, I know what I'm breathing in, even if only occasionally in an open space. This needs to be looked after because, Barnaby, sure. You're going to start thinking this is food if I'm not careful. Kind of like how we look at Tide pods and those laundry detergent pods, thinking they're paint. Sorry, what I was saying there was an artist has, I mean, if you're an artist full-time for your life and you start at the age of 30, say, or you start at 20, you've got about 60 to 70 years where you're painting there. Now, if you're talking about ventilated spaces, a window in a room is not a ventilated space for 70 years. You're going to ruin your brain. And you want to reach the end of your career and make it the best of your career. But if you reach the end of your career and you've lost your brain that actually allows you to think properly, this is actually BBBBBJRM. This is the average length of a brush. This is completely regular. This is a 12mm Da Vinci top acrylic. And the reason why it has that weight on one side of it, and I'll show you, see this here? If I put on my finger there, if I can get the balance going, there, both, balance. So this way I'm not having to move the brush entirely with my hand. I can actually rely on balance as I'm putting those strokes on there. So see that? Balance. Yeah, sometimes you'll see some artists use it. A classic example is Damien Hirst. Uses like sticks, and he's a very famous, world famous artist. He holds it at the base like this because he wants more of a whiplash motion. So he actually does do when we talk about movement and transposing a feeling onto a canvas, he actually uses the brush almost like in another extended joint. So see, I've got my shoulder, I've got my elbow, I've got my wrist, and then out to the brush allows me to get all this joint so I can get a massive whiplash motion, which, good for him. I love that, but I like to have a little bit more control inside my actual arm itself. The length of the brush for me, sort of irrelevant. I sort of hold it closer to the base, and my big movements invalidate the small amount of balance I would get. But for finer details, really, really important. Really, really important. Typically, the only reason why I have it though is you'll see me play with the brush like this every now and again, and when it's nicely balanced, it feels better to play with a balanced brush than it feels better to play with like a little Mitre 10 or Home Depot brush that you've got just the hilt to hold on to. Hilt? Base? Whatever it's called. So, where was I going with that yarn? I think I finished it. Basically, in terms of a brush, whatever suits you best is the right brush. I've tried using ones that are literally that you just hold, you cup in your hand and paint like this with. They are funky. They are funky. The only problem I find with those sort of brushes though, the only problem I find is that, thank you Barnaby, with those sorts of brushes, you run into the issue, excuse me, of your hand getting tired because your forearms are squeezing it so much. But if you've got a longer unit like this, it keeps your hand full of energy. And then the shorter it is, yeah, the more it's going to burn your forearms out. That's what I sort of find to be the case. But at the end of the day, sometimes that feels good. Like in a situation like where you're painting for like 20 minutes, sometimes you want to finish the session and for your forearms to actually, like your painting arm, to feel a little bit of heat and blood flow through it. I get that, but for a 1 hour, 2 hour set, you're just going to actually make your brush strokes a little bit more numpty. Like, so I don't recommend that. It's not a go-to. Here we go. A little bit of this. There we go. Roll the ball away. Grab the cup. Oh. Yeah. She's in a very, very fun place. So we had the definition from the first layer. We splashed around with a few other colours, still doing definition, but in a whole array of colours on the second layer. And then the third layer, the one we did yesterday, what we did was we got the same paints with a bit more saturation, and we let them be a bit more wild. Instead of saying, this is the exact line we need, we allowed a bit of attitude to go into the brush strokes so that her movement isn't like here's what I'm trying to say. There's two types of person that we're capturing. She's either a dancer that's frozen in this moment like this, looking completely static and doing nothing, or she looks like she's in a moment of movement. As if you kept looking at the painting, she'd continue to move. Now, if we add these brush strokes and transpose a bit of movement onto it, then we'll get more of that attitude into the painting and more of that perceived ongoing movement. I explained that incredibly poorly. Oh, cheers, Sky. Same thing goes though, guys. With art, there's a million different tips that you run across. And the key to it is don't fall into the trap of thinking one artist knows everything. That is a bad place to end up. Because, like for example, I may know a fair bit about being wild, abstract, thinking about art, transposing things, capturing expression, acrylics, oils, little bits in all these areas, but I don't have a clue about watercolour. Don't even ask me about the craft of watercolour. I will let you down because I've never done watercolours. Well, never done them. That's a good one. I've never sold a watercolour. I've done a few of them, but I've never actually done one that I'm like, yes, put my name on that, put it out there for sale. I need to find something to put this picture on. It's not staying up for me. And I think, oh yes, alrighty tighty. tracked it down. This is fantastic. I've got what we need. You'll be like, that's overkill, but trust me, it's not. Got a ladder. I'll put this ladder right here. Fantastic. And the reason we're using a ladder is so then I can stick this picture to here, because this magenta is going to go everywhere, but if I don't have the picture up, I might get to the wrong spots. All right, sorry. Missed some things there. Bada bing, bang, boom. Oh, sorry, Jay Smith. The merch is only available for subs, so that's a trick. Sorry, Jay. That was just as a special thing for subscribers, for merchandise. I felt like if I did it for everyone, it sort of felt like one of those things where you're like, yeah, buy the hat, buy the shirt, but it was sort of more of a community thing. And then the prints are available. There is more coming. I've got 4 more prints of smart work that we did earlier in the piece that hasn't been released yet. Ernest Hemingway, water skiing, Hercules, and there's one other one. My memory doesn't serve. Anyway, they're on the way. I'm getting those professionally scanned today, and the high-res versions made into prints, etc. So it's going to be busy for me if I disappear for a little bit. That's what I'm doing. But if you go on the website at the moment, and there's about 6 prints up there, if none of them resonate with you, bless me, sorry, and there's more on the way, is basically what I'm saying. And Alfred, great to have you in the team. Alfred's a great name. Alfred is a good name, actually. Alfred's one of those names, you feel like an Alfred's trustworthy. I guess that's from Batman. You just feel like if you put your trust in Alfred, he's not going to let you down. I get that kind of vibe from an Alfred. What's the most untrustworthy name? Snape, probably. Even though Snape was the absolute MVP of Harry Potter, I think Snape's an untrustworthy name. Chad, what about the Chad in Charlie's Angels, Sky? The Chad in Charlie's Angels, the Chad in Charlie's Angels, say that 10 times fast, is an absolute legend. He lets them use his boat. He doesn't ask any questions. All he wants to do is for the ginger girl to love him. He's a lovely guy. There's Thad Castle in, what's that movie? BMS? BMS? Something like that. There is some bad Chads though, that's true. Bad Chad. We got a Chad that comes in here and actually gives us puns. So I think every Chad's unique. There's a unique group of Chads. Thanks, Jules. Cool Ghost. Jet. Jet, I imagine Jet being a name for a... Jet's like a nickname. I can imagine a dog called Jet sounds like trouble. A dog called Jet sounds like it bites. I'm so sorry if someone's got a dog called Jet. You know what? If you've got a dog called Jet, you tell me what your dog's like. I'm not going to self-impose my own views onto you. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. And Nims, how am I doing? I'm doing fantastically. I'm doing absolutely fantastically. I'm putting the last coat of paint on this work here. I say last coat. It may not be. It should be. I want it to be. And then I've got to race off into town, get some work photographed, get one work framed, and get one work shipped. So we're pretty busy, but that's why I want to get on early in the piece and do some painting with you guys before I disappeared into oblivion. And I think that's kind of fair. Chicken with you later. All right, bon appetit. Enjoy Toronto. It's cold over there. It must be cold over there. Hope you're all right. Yes, I know you'd like the ball to be. Wah! There you go. And, oh, guys, this is going to be shocking. I got some terrible, not terrible news, just some weird news. You're going to be like, it's a red flag. So, I watched for the first time in my life, Castaway. I hadn't seen Castaway until last night. And it was fantastic. I loved it. What an absolute champion. Tom Hanks, legend. It's kind of fun going back and watching movies with actors like that when they are younger and just seeing their, I don't know, just incredible performances. But it's not even all about the performance. It's the movie itself. He's just the most amazing man in terms of mental strength in the movie. Like, how do you go from 4 years of isolation to then having a party of 25 people, keeping you cool, to then seeing the person who carried you through it via a locket that was in your that you had with you, to then letting her go, and then being content with going off to live the rest of your life. Like, the guy's a legend. He's an absolute legend. Barnaby is quiet. Barnaby is currently chewing on his ball, running around the room, figuring out where he can put the ball so he can get my attention again. And he currently can't push it under the previous spot because I put a towel there. So he's still trying to figure that one out. Shoe info. $20 shoes from the op shop. They're actually a little bit big, but I like them because I've got zips, so I can easily put them on. So they've got these intense laces, so they look like I went to the effort of tying my shoes, but I did absolutely no such thing. And it's kind of cool. You go through public all day, and everyone's like, now that's a guy who ties his shoelaces. But it's a trick. That's a guy who does not tie his shoelaces. Yes, I'm going to start watching some more of those old movies. We're talking like early 2000s and late 90s, because some of them are absolute pearlers, and Castaway is an example of that. An absolute pearler of a movie that does get its share of love, but is definitely rewatchable. It's interesting seeing the cinematography as well, and seeing how things have changed over the past however many years in terms of how we actually film movies. That really intrigued me, because when you get used to Avengers and these giant that's Lord of the Rings, but like these big heroic angles and panoramas and things, and then you go into a situation where it's very stationary and they have to use the talent of the actor or cinematography in the moment to create a compelling story. This is special, challenging, and I think a lot of directors, I don't want to put words in their mouths because they know more about their field than I ever will, but I think a lot of directors probably feel a huge amount of envy for the world that was cinema in the late 90s and the early 2000s, and that creativity and ideas had supreme control over giant CGI budget. I do hear complaints about CGI budgets and things, and that everything's just CGI now in cinema. Now, that's totally okay, but I can imagine some directors would be whimsical or romantic about a time when CGI wasn't there and it was reliant on them as a person, as a creative and an individual, to come up with an idea or a way of shooting the scene. Like in Man on Fire, where they had to do a whole giant thing to try and make sure they get the nice panoramic shot at one stage. The effort that would go into these things in order to capture the same intensity in a moment. So I can imagine CGI adds a lot to a film, but it takes away from what a director could therefore add. So, I don't know. It'd be kind of like an AI painting the picture for me, and then me signing off on it. I'd feel cheated, and I'd complain about a time when art was something that I would make and get to lose myself in, and everyone would be like, "Oh, another artist having a little whinge." I don't care, but like, that's how I'd liken it and think about it. Hey, Dave, how we doing? And thanks, Heavenly. It's actually a horse stables. So we're a little bit off piece, but we're having some fun, and we're adding magentas into the picture, jumping across into our violets and Venetian pinks, and then we'll step back have a little look-see and see where we're going to go next. Lavender, that was that was really interesting. That was the scene that I thought was what I found most interesting about that scene was he lost Wilson, but he understood enough about the drifts, his raft, his ability to swim, and all this sort of stuff, to make an intelligent decision to stick with the raft instead of basically committing suicide in that instance, and for Wilson. And so Wilson was personified to be a person, but it was really interesting that he felt grief that he lost the person, but he wasn't, even after all of his 4 years of adventure, not lucid enough to understand that letting go of the raft would be certain death. And so lots of kudos to the character Tom Hanks is playing to actually, the whole way through the movie, have incredible mental stability. Like, on top of that, I mean, this is the classic late 90s, early 2000s for you. The fact that he came off the island into society and they just chucked thousands of people at him, threw giant parties, threw food at him from everywhere, and reconnected him with the world, like, with huge intensity. I don't want to show up to a 20-person party on a good day, and he has to do it after 4 years on an island. Wow. So the reason why this is so wild is he never got any psychiatric testing. He never went to a psychologist. He never got, hey, what might be the trauma you've faced here, and that, what's your brain doing now that you've formed a relationship with a basketball, volleyball. So these questions get asked, and he had this mental position where he was able to actually grapple with life in a way that he was able to build a philosophy and provide meaning for his life in a positive way. I mean, I'm not saying the isolation was good at all, but his ability to actually go from that to gain mental toughness, to go on to live life, is absolutely incredible. You've got to give him, it's just interesting. I love that. I like the movie. That's what I'm trying to say. I like the movie. I'll watch it again. Barnaby's back. He's like, I've got the ball. That was a long yarn about Castaway. Can you just give the ball a little throw? Do you think I deserve it? I think I deserve it. Fair enough, Barnaby. If they had to put up with listening about Castaway for 15 minutes, you can get the ball tossed. And there we go. Oh, thanks, Jordan. But honestly, Jordan, go watch the film and get an idea of the degree of mental toughness that man needed to have to go through what he... In fact, not mental toughness, but positive outlook. Positive outlook? What would you call it, guys? Was it a positive outlook? How would you describe how he went into the world, how he grappled with the world? Because he was at peace at the end. Do you know how hard it is to forge peace out of the situations that he went through? How do you forge peace from that? That's absolutely wild. It's absolutely wild. And yet he did it. So there must be a book about that. Forging Peace. A deep dive into Castaway. I'd read that book. And welcome to the team, Pablo. Welcome. We're just cracking down some layers on this. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Not far off now, but a lavender coming on in here. I like a bit of lavender. Not too much lavender, but a bit of lavender. And we're still very much a whole team here. We've got little fella hanging out with us here. The ladder with our picture on it. There we go. Bringing you on back. 11:45. Perfect. Plenty of time. Plenty of time to bring this painting together or ruin it. One of the two. Hopefully bring together. But honestly, we're rolling dice. World's a wild place. We may not succeed. I'm hoping we succeed. You've got to hope for yourself when you're a painter, eh? That's the thing. I think a lot of the time, the reason why painters or paintings can fall apart is you lose hope for yourself. You've really just got to continue hoping that the picture will come together and then lose yourself in the process. You've got to hope for something that you can't see. And that's unique. It's tough, but it is what it is. Hey, how you doing? You need to watch it? Go watch it. It's great. Great for a movie night. It doesn't feel like a waste. How often do you watch a movie? Like, I don't want to bag on Netflix. Netflix all good, but think about the times when you watch a movie and it literally just takes you through here's the hero, here's the antagonist, here's the bad guy, here's the story, here's the climax, here's the happy conclusion, and we move on. Things like old Leonardo DiCaprio movies, Tom Hanks movies, these old school movies from the past have such, like Shutter Island will leave you thinking for weeks. And so the reason why I say that is it's so satisfying to have a movie night and feel like you come away with more as a person than when you went into it. Instead of sitting there thinking, I just feel lethargic now. There's that part of my day or night gone. I guess I'll head off to work tomorrow and do it all again and maybe have another movie on Netflix. And you don't feel vitalized by it. And I'm not saying they're not making great movies these days, but I'm saying there's a huge saturation of movies that probably don't say as much as those old school movies do. And so watching movies that have this compelling meaning behind them, and you know I'm going to bring up Kung Fu Panda here, but a compelling meaning behind it means that actually you can go out there, have a movie night, and walk away as more. That's a better way to live life. Walk into situations that you can walk out with more. And when I say more, I don't mean like financially or physically in all these sort of different ways, but actually more in the way that you are a better person for it. And I think you become a better person watching Castaway. I think there's inspiration there, an incredible amount of it that improves you as a person. There we go, a little bit there. Beautiful. A24 has movies that will blow your mind. A24, never heard of it. Never heard of it. Honestly though, guys, I'm getting to that stage now. You know when you get, I'm an old school romantic. I want to watch those old school movies. I think I might even watch The Notebook tonight. Maybe. Such a quotable film. You know, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Blunt honesty. No cap. That's what the kids say these days. No cap. I appreciate that, Barry. No cap right now, which means no lies. I'm not sure where that came from, but that's what the kids are saying. No lies, no cap. No cap right now. I've never watched The Notebook. And in the next maybe 24, 48 hours, I plan to fix that. So The Notebook is going to be getting a watch from Sebastian Gower. And I'll let you know how I found it. I'm pretty excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to watch The Notebook, and I think I like it. I like it. I like a romantic movie, though. I like a movie where someone gets themselves really locked into, not locked into an idea. I like a movie where someone knows what they want and they go after it. And by the sounds of it, the guy knew what he wanted, but Barnaby feels ignored. Yeah, sorry. That's bad, Jules. I threw the ball from just then. You love British rom-coms? Well, is that like The Holiday and Love Actually? Is that a British rom-com? Or do I just make a fool of myself? Surely it is. Is it? Oh my God, someone put me out of my misery. Is or is not? Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Up, a better way, yeah. They gonna tell me any day, so whatever. There we go. And up over the whole way here. I know, Barnaby, but you gotta let me do these top parts because there's so much to capture up here, and if I don't give it any attention, it's gonna be obvious. And I've got to show all the corners of this painting love, Barnaby. You gotta understand that, buddy. I know you're not into painting as much, but painting gets your dog biscuits. I said this yesterday. You didn't seem to care about it, but I'm serious. Painting gets you dog biscuits. Had a quick visit out of town with my brother. Oh, nice. Good on you, Glenn. And Richard Curtis is a British... The problem is, I'm going to show my ignorance here again, I don't know who Richard Curtis is. He sounds like a lovely man, don't get me wrong. But I don't know who he is. I recognise the name, actually. I recognise the name. They gon' tell me every day, so whatever. Here we go. Time for our pastel pinks. Sneak down in here with a little bit of this vibrant poppin' colour. They gon' tell me every day, so whatever. There we go. A little bit around here. A little bit through here. Come on. Come on now. It's a poor rendition of Michael Jackson, but that's okay. You might be able to hear the chimes in the background because it is windy. It's a windy day. There we go. That's up there, looking beautiful. I'm going to add a little bit up there. Dabble there. And then gonna stay high all the time to keep you off my mind. Ooh, ooh, gonna stay high. Sorry, gonna creep around here a little bit, guys. Block the whole canvas out while I do it. Lovely. Did I miss a part? Yes, I did. Beautiful. And then we're going to sneak in here with a little bit more. Voila! Down in here. Come on. Underneath. Yeah, we'll get a little bit underneath there. I'll do a little bit under there. Why not? Why not? There we go. Beautiful. What about my jeans? They're about jeepers. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, wah! They're about, I think they were $8 or $6 from an op shop. So pretty happy with that. Some designer brand that I've already got paint on, so I have to get some more, but that's all right. $6, half the cost of a Big Mac meal. When you put it in perspective like that, you think, wow, wow. But I do like a pair of, look, guys, honestly, if I got my choice, my favourite thing to wear is a pair of Wranglers, but it's very, very hard to find those stretch Wranglers that feel good. Stretch Wranglers have a go. Oh no, Violet bailed on us, guys. She's wandered off. She's like, you know what? Too much Violet. You ruined the painting. I was supposed to be the only Violet in the room. You've added too much to the painting, so I'm leaving. You got to respect that, I suppose. I don't know if that's exactly what she said. I'm paraphrasing, but jeepers, haunted house. Fair enough. Always love to see you. Oh, thank you very much. I can't pronounce that name. Is that Orpheus? 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 And hello, Trista. So lots of bright colours, bouncing over each other. That's part of the plan here. Lots of bright colours, all just doing a symphony, a dance. I'll dance, dance. That's a very good song. Bloody Mary by Lady Gaga. With my hands above my head. After I add the last little strokes of this colour on there, we'll be doing what I call a little bit of a recalibration, just making sure we're on the right path to complete this work beautifully. That is the goal-setting environment we're putting ourselves in. There we go. They're gonna love me every day, so whatever. Stand back for a moment. How are we looking? Pretty cool, pretty cool. They're gonna tell me every day. Just a few little cosmetic strokes. And in amongst it. Cosmetic means there's been little areas where paint's run out. Hasn't quite grabbed the right amount in a few spots. Random question, what's my favorite food? Okay, 2 questions. First one. My favorite food is probably steak. But as we look at saving the world and things like that, my favorite food is probably... What food really makes me lose control? I don't really have a deep love for any particular food, do I? French fries, deep fried chips. That'd be my favorite food, deep fried chips. So if you check a deep fried chips and a steak, then you've got my favorite meal. Deep fried chips and steak. But if the world needs me to save it and stop eating red meat, I get it, I totally get it. You tell me what you need, world, and I'm happy to just have the chips with steak sauce. That's okay by me, but if no one gets hurt and the world's sustainable, I wouldn't mind the steak. But if people are getting hurt to make the steak, specifically the cow, then I'm happy to, obviously, make that sacrifice. Did I explain that well enough? I think I tried. They make vegan steak now? Wow, that's interesting. And pasta is good. Fair enough. Very good answers. Good. I'm glad that my answers have satisfied you. This is bringing joy to my heart. There we go. A little bit around here. Now we're talking to it. There we go. And here, just a few little touches. It's a little bit lighter through here. And I want just some pure white in here. Perfecto. We might come down here and just do a few more little touches around the feet. Beautiful. And then just down here. Whoa. Right, sorry guys, I'll get onto those comments in just a second. Just trying to get these little last bits up and around through here, down under here, and under here. There we go. Oh my god, a little patch being missed under here. I need to get that properly. There we go. Bit of a changing colour there. Beautiful. Just up and around it like that. Fantastic. Lovely. That's what I needed. Hello Jude, how we doing? Good to have you here. And how many hours do I have in this painting here? It's a good question. We're closing in on the tail end of it at the moment. We're not there yet, but we're in a good position. I reckon I need to get some dark. Just a little bit of dark. And looksy here. Yeah, I'm going to get just a little bit of dark, but what colour is it going to be is the main question. Dark green? Do I dare? I think that's what it is, a dark green. Dark green, not dark purple, not brown. Not dark purple, not brown. Dark red, too close to the magenta. Dark blue. Dark blue's already playing a role. If I throw it in there again, it'll overpower it too much. I think it has to be green. Dark blue, red, orange, green, purple. It's sort of, yeah. Unless we see a better idea in our paint bucket, I think we're just going to go for green, but I shouldn't say just green. We're going to go for green. I typically do avoid the greens just because I prefer, sorry, that was noisy. I prefer the greens of nature, and I don't think orange, yeah. You know, I did a poll on TikTok, and it came out, no, not TikTok, this is TikTok, on Twitter, X, and was asking everyone about if you could remove one colour, what would it be? Purple, yellow, blue, whatever. Everyone shot orange. They said orange can go, which is wild. I didn't think there was that much hate out there for orange. Turns out, orange ain't loved all that much. So, sorry, orange. But I do have a lovely orange down here. It's a red orange, but it's a very, very poppy one. You'll have to excuse the amount of paint on it. It's a bit of a mess. I'll show you that there. That's the orange. That's a very, very intense orange. This is the bummer bit. It's one of these little packets. But you see how that's not really going to help because it's all messy. There we go. So I'm not saying I'm never going to use orange again, but with this one here, orange is going to... It's going to be a lot with those pastel colours because orange has a high level of punch. Green's going to fall back. So, yeah, honestly, I love orange. I do love orange. But in this particular case, with this particular painting, it's in a space where orange will be detrimental for it. We need those softer, darker tones because orange will be a lot. A lot. Orange is the happy colour. Orange is the colour of friendship. Orange is the colour of companionship. Orange has the intensity of red without the fury. Orange has the happiness of yellow without the weakness. Orange is fantastic. It's everything you'd want. Oh, that was not a good cup of filter coffee because I did it wrong. So had a lot of bada bing bung bung. A lot of, promise I'll get my trail of thought in just a second. Granules, filter lumps, coffee in it. There, strong. I'm like chewing on them while I'm painting now. Not as ideal. Orange is warm. Orange is warm without being hot. Orange is a bunch of things. Cheers, Jordan. Fast and the Furious is orange. Is it? Is it? If it is, I've learned something new. Things Seb did not know. Turns out Fast and the Furious was orange. Wild. There we go. It's a little bit through there. Dabble down here. Lovely. Couple more posts. Just showing up through a few of these parts. Bit more paint in this ratio. There we go. Now we're talking. Bits here. All right. Love the shoes. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that. I don't often wear them because honestly, they're a little bit big for me. My feet are actually really small. These are like size 10 or 11. I got size 9 feet, little baby feet. But they were from an op shop and they were cheap, 20 bucks. So got them. And when I wear them, everyone's like, oh, he's got big feet. It's a lie. It's a lie. I got like, my partner is tiny, tiny feet. So there's that. But for a man, I don't have man feet. Are man feet supposed to be big? Strikes me I'm looking after the planet. With small feet, technically I'm using up less leather for my shoes. So as far as I'm concerned, if you've got big feet, you should feel really guilty about the amount of extra materials you're using on your shoes, and you should have to buy 1 carbon credit for each shoe. That's what I reckon. Someone with big feet out there is like, whoa, 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 whoa. Someone cancel him. We can't be having that. That is not ideal. I'm already struggling to pay my mortgage. Now this guy's going to come in here and charge me a carbon credit per shoe. Get out of here, son. Get out of here. Kind of right, though. Not me, the guy who's complaining. Hypothetically, would be right. Beautiful. Orange is the new black. That's what they say. That's what they say. I reckon pink's the new black. That's where I stand. You want my shirt? It is super dry. I got it for $2 on a super good deal. Same time, not the same time I got the boots, but the same time I got the pants. So, pretty happy about that. It's a lovely fit, super dry. They've recently changed their fits apparently. They were like a European brand. You're going to correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm totally wrong. But they're a European-ish brand. And they've changed their fits to fit more Eastern culture. And so, which is great. It fits me better now. Things like Barker's and Hallensteins, they're New Zealand brands, but they don't really fit me that great. Super dry on the other hand. Eastern cuts, is that even a thing? Eastern cuts? Did I get told it was a thing? Who told me that? Eastern brands though, typically. Chinese brands, Japanese brands. Really, really good fits. I really like their clothing. But you don't see a lot in New Zealand here, apart from in the big malls in Auckland and things. we go. Hello, Jessie Lynn. How we doing? What you drawing? Pictures. No, just a picture of a boy with a dog with a big background. Hanging out with a dog, Barnaby, who wants me to throw the ball all the time. Getting me in that painting a dog mood, which is really important. Thanks, Michael. I'll put that in the diary. Dear diary, got called a hoot today. Used to think a hoot was half of a Pokemon from the second generation. Now I've learnt it's a good compliment once you're in your 30s. I think in your 30s, one of the biggest compliments you can get is being called a hoot. You're like, you want to hang out with Brian? He's a hoot. Brian would be like, yeah, too right I am. Whoa. Let's chuck in what Brian's perfect. Jesse, Brian's imaginary, but he does, when you say Brian's a hoot, he does seem like the kind of person you'd want to hang out with, to be fair. What's a hoot? A hoot is like a hoot. I was cracking a joke that a hoot's half of a second generation Pokemon, because there's a Pokemon in the second generation called Hoot Hoot. Which I can only imagine is an absolute hoot of a Pokemon. A hoot's a good thing. If you're a hoot, or that was a hoot, that's like a good time. I had a hoot. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Noctowl. Wait, Noctowl is... Hoot Hoot turns into Noctowl, right? And then Ash had a shiny Noctowl, which was golden, which was mine. Yeah, so Ash had the most coolest Hoot Hoot of them all. I think that's correct. Someone needs to help me out here. I forget these things. Isn't that what made me get started into painting? Because I love it, because it makes people happy, because I get to splash around colours, because I get to make a picture appear, because it's one of the only times in life where I feel control and freedom, even though it's something so completely chaotic. Because by doing it, I can share the way I feel with others. How good does it feel when you were a kid and you'd have your first, you'd be at a party or something and you'd have a few drinks for the first time and you have a deep and meaningful conversation with one of your best friends. Or you go on a long walk, or you sit at a sunset, or it's the middle of the night, and you get to actually feel an interpersonal relationship with another person through conversation. Think of that feeling, that not the action, but the feeling of that. Imagine that and just transpose it onto a visual medium through art. And that's exactly the same with an audio medium with song. Like, I can imagine for a songwriter or a composer to sing a song and to have other people feel what you feel when you wrote or sang that song. That's the thing that drives you forward and keeps you going. So that's why I paint. Super deep, sort of, but actually super basic. Super basic. I think we overcomplicate it and use long 3-syllable words to try and explain why we're an artist and why we make art. At a fundamental level, at the basic level, it makes you feel good. It makes other people feel good. It feels natural. It feels human, and it's something that we want to share. And I used a 2-syllable word in there, but most of it was 1 syllable, so it was pretty straightforward. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about art. And I come from a position, I used to paint to sell. I used to try and make pretty pictures and things. And then the world grabbed a hold of me. And I went out there and I got a corporate-ish job and started working and worked non-stop. I love to work, guys. I'm an absolute workaholic. And I ran off into the world and worked non-stop, and I felt like I lost myself. And when I lost myself, I tried to get it back by finding a way to express myself, using expression, creating art. But like I said, it wasn't for anyone, just for me. I used to destroy it. And since I was painting over it each time, just enjoying the process of making it, this helps you realize how much actually it's not about creating a finished, polished product out there in the world, but making something that makes you truly happy. If the only thing that happened in sport was that you got a finishing score and that's all that mattered, like with the Rugby World Cup, if it just suddenly said, and this team wins, Like, we want the result. We want to know who wins. We need that closure, that trophy, that celebration. But the value in the Rugby World Cup, or the Soccer World Cup, or tennis, is not in the winner, not in that final finishing moment. You need that bow to finish it, but it's all about the game, the feeling, the play, the enjoyment, the sport, the journey, that word, journey process. I know, buddy, you don't understand a word of what I'm saying, and I get that. And if you learn that, and learn that that's actually where all the value is, it frees you, and you're finally free to actually pursue the result. And honestly, I'd look at an example like a dog. Look at Barnaby right here. Barnaby didn't wake up and decide that the world had to make him happy. Barnaby woke up and said, it's going to be a good day no matter what happens. And so far, Barnaby's had a feed, he's had a treat, that was naughty of me, and he's had a nap, and he's had the ball thrown from 20 times. So, he's out here. Yeah, Barnaby's actually a rescue dog. But Barnaby's also got one of the best coats on a golden retriever you'll find. Absolute heart of gold. He's nuts, but a heart of gold. Nuts in the way that he's just addicted to that ball. It's all you want, isn't it, buddy? It's all you want. Yeah. Anyway, painting. I got a painted dog. I know. Where'd you put your ball? Okay, I'll throw it for you. There you go. All right. Barnaby pops in and out. So, that's it. You want to meet them? You want to go up? 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 This is Barnaby. This is Barnaby. You came up, you want to go up again? You've already come up and made a mess of my top this morning, so you can do it again if you want. Up? 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 Yeah? You want to say hi? You want me to throw the ball, don't you? I'll go up, but only because I know it'll make you throw the ball. Barnaby loves anyone who gives him attention. Barnaby is a good judge of who's going to throw the ball for him. And he gets lonely during the night, though. In the morning, he's absolutely manic because he's going to get that. He's like, I've got so much attention that you need to make up for after ignoring me all night. So, happy dog. Happy dog. And a happy environment to raise a dog into. I just hope he's great with kids. That's the big one. Barnaby's never had a full-time role around a baby, so that's an interesting case. Oh, we've got someone joining us, team. Incoming. Who's coming on in here? We've got a horse coming in from the rain. That is Wilson. Wilson's come to join us. We'll keep painting for a little bit longer here, though. I know Wilson wants our attention, but unfortunately, Wilson, we've got to keep painting. What's our time at? Our time's at 12:20. 12:20. Oh, Violet's back. It's all on now. We've got Violet. We've got Wilson. We've got everyone we need to have a good time. Violet, Wilson, and Barnaby. A painting which is gradually coming together, one wild little stroke at a time. Wilson's like, oh, you going to feed me, or what's the go here? He's decided there's something interesting going on in here. All right, we'll give him some attention. Here we go. Come with me, guys. Oh, let me pick you up. Gotcha. Come on around with me here. You got Wilson here. Wilson's only here because he reckons I'm going to feed him, aren't you? But you ain't going to get fed. And he wants to get out of the rain, so that's fair enough. Wilson's really big, though, so we don't really paint with Wilson, because if we paint with Wilson, he'll literally, by accident, whack over the canvas, and we can't afford that. And he'll feel real bad about it, but it will happen. And then, Violet's much more patient and timid. She won't do anything too naughty, so we'll usually paint with Violet. But this guy here, not this boy. Okay, let's bring you back to your position. Unless someone else is holding the camera. That's different. If someone else is holding the camera, no, don't lick the camera, mate. Gotta get it out of Wilson's reach. You're getting licked by Wilson right now, guys. Anyway, there we go. Bring you around to here. Perfect. Wilson is beautiful. Wilson is beautiful. He's a little bit crazy. He's crazy in a good way, though. Like, think about it this way. He's a horse that'll jump a little bit, but when he jumps, and if you fall off, he's not like another horse that runs away wild and gets angry and things. He'll feel bad about you falling off. So he doesn't want you to fall off him, but he's a high energy horse, if that makes sense. So that's pretty cool. And so I don't mind a horse that's a little bit high energy, provided that the horse values your own safety, even if it can't guarantee it. I like a horse that cares. That's what I'm trying to say. I like a horse that cares. There we go. Almost sorted here. There we go. Wow. I think we're getting to the point of closure there. There we go. You grab a little bit more of this teal. Teal might be the final colour that we throw around onto here. Oh, that's a lie. We know that's a lie. Last colour to add is going to be a teeny tiny bit of red. I know. You've been a good boy. I'll throw you the ball. Here we go. Up and over. Sorry, guys, I missed some comments there. Have I painted Wilson before? No, I haven't painted Wilson. But I should, actually. We'll paint Shelby on Wilson. That'll be the plan. But yes, in the future, we've got some amazing shots we still need to paint, though. A lot of the subscribers sent through some amazing pictures during and after and before the last art battle. And so I've got things like turtles, I've got things like just all sorts of stuff that I still need to paint. So Wilson's going to have to go on the back burner while we get ready to do that. There we go. A little bit around here. You hear that rain coming down in the background. Why does it always rain on my shed? There we go. Perfect. Last but not least, the colour of red. Where's your ball, buddy? Just there? Okay, yep. We're going to use a lovely, brilliant red Series 2 Impasto. And hello, John. How we doing? Been a hot minute, John. Welcome back. We're adding in the third colour. Third plate, final colour. And then we'll have a quick interlude while I go and grab another canvas. And then we'll add a bit more to our Hawaiian girl. Just a brief session on her because we've got time. 3 p.m, it's 12:30 at the moment, so 2.5 hours, half an hour to get there, so 2 hours left. So pack up time, 30 minutes, hour and a half left. Hour and a half, time to eat, maybe about an hour. If we've got an hour, yeah, we'll do some work on Hawaiian Gill, but not too much. We'll just make a start. And John, I hope you got the link I sent you through as well. I know, you got your ball there. So, last colour, last but not least, we're going to add some red, and then we're going to give this painting some time to just sit. And the sitting will tell us whether we've nailed it or whether there's more to be done. But I'm liking the colours at the moment. There's a little bit of a vivid nature to it. There's lots of impasto, there is that, but lots of pastels. We've got that spectrum of brown and that spectrum of green, that spectrum of magenta. I say this because those pastels have their light and dark versions, but I like it how the dark ones sort of slip through here, the light ones through here. It's got some nice little small facets within the work that we're doing here. Little small facets, but it's heading in the right direction. Heading in the right direction. Now, it's going to be quite interesting though too, because we need to crack some eggs. So I have to grab some eggs, we have to make some egg tempera paint with a new recipe, and then we'll put 2 or 3 colours onto our princess. Princess, hula dancer, we'll see how we go. Let's see here. Sorry, Tim, I missed one there, coming back up to it. Have you painted Wilson? Oh, that's that same one. Wilson before, and I didn't know painting can be so exciting. We're just hanging out, guys. See you later, Jesse. See you later, alligator. Right, a little bit of red, then we're going to do what's called a stand down period with this painting. We just let it sit for a while. We'll put it over on the lawnmower, and just make sure we're happy with everywhere the colours ended up landing. That's so important. So important. Oh yeah. And we're just going to make sure the person in this photo does have red hair, but it's important we don't just put the red hair inside the character themselves. Let it spread over the surface and get a little bit all over that show. There we go. Lovely. Just so it doesn't look like we just grabbed the colour solely to do the hair, and we didn't, but it does match the hues that we were after in that particular area. Here we go. Put more red over here. Beautiful. All the way around the edges. Absolutely stunning. There we go. Mixing a little bit more. Dabble, dabble, dabble. And sneaking down here. Dabble, dabble. Lovely. How you doing, buddy? Ball again? Fair enough. Wah! And we're getting watched, guys. Here's our audience. I'm going to bring you around to see them. Hey, Bianca. How you doing? We have our lovely Violet. Violet's hanging out here. She's a little bit shy, but she's very patient. Thanks, Bobby. And we have our Wilson. Wilson's like, how could you forget my name? So they're very, very lovely horses, very patient, happy to watch. And our job here, typically we'd have it facing the other way, but the position of the sun right now means we get better lighting facing this way. So you get the view of the John Deere lawnmower rather than the horses. I know, it's a bit more niggly, but it is what it is. Let's get a bit more of this through. There we go. Now we don't want to overdo this red because it's such a popping colour, and if we add too much of it, it's going to take away from the beautiful magentas that we've already used. So you've got to be careful when you start adding bold colours like red. They can be so obnoxious that they can take away from colours that are popping, like magenta, but that aren't actually so bold. Magenta's not a bold colour. It'll fall back in the presence of hot flaming red, and you'll already see, even with these few little touches I've done, that magenta has come slightly less relevant. Ever so slightly. So we will chill out with this in just a second, just because of the drastic effect that red... Oh, Barnaby! I am walking backwards, tripping up over the dog. Up we go, Barnaby, and down right there. Good on you, mate. I thought that was going to be it for this one, but I'm going to add one more. Colores. And Dirk, welcome to the team. Welcome to the team. Wipe that off. I want to get, just down here, white. Last but not least, we're going to do just a few little touches of white. A few little touches of white. On the brush. Beautiful. We're not going to overdo the white. This is so important. White can really change a painting. So we'll let it get in here with a few little impasto moments, but we're not going to let it completely shake up the surface of this painting. There we go. Our dog here, just a little bit there. And then coming down the forehead there, beautiful. A little bit around there, keep it coming, a little bit in there. Lovely. Dog's got the most white on it, just splashing tiny little colour deviations in here. Turning those creams and those light violets that we already had on there into this very, very light touching of white. A little bit more down around the bottom. Excuse me while I get down here. There we go. Beautiful. And on the tail here, that tail, just need to acknowledge that with a whole bunch of white. More? Yeah, on that bum there. Teeny bit there. That's the dog. Then on the foot, beautiful. On the knee, just a touch. Coming up the top here on this cup, yes indeed. Right up here, just make sure that white lands correctly. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then the handle, this is important. Boof. Boof. Lovely. And then just a little bit more through there. People are like, he just said a bit of white, wasn't he? Is he sure he knows what a bit of white is? Because he's going hard on the white. There we go. A little bit there, 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 there, and then around the edges, pow. Done. All right, team. Okay, Barnaby. Yes, fair enough. Okay, ball. Up it goes. Good on you, buddy. Right, team. Let's spin this one around a little bit. I'm just going to put it... Oh, I'll leave that there. We're just going to move it very delicately, because like I said, it's on that edge part. Spin it around to face you. So quite an interesting picture. It's not your regular style of picture. Usually when you see a portrait or a genre piece, it's very clear what's happening. This painting has a slightly larger element of ambiguity in it, which is kind of fun. So let me bring this forward for you here. This is our picture. And in this picture, we've got a child sitting here in a classic rugby top. Down by his feet here, we have the puppy looking straight at the camera, but there's this obscuring nature here between the child and the puppy and the concrete, where they all seem to blend in just a little bit. So we wanted to capture the face of the puppy, the child in their position of gaze, but everything else we would let the actual style of the picture, which is slightly more ambiguous, come into effect. So you'd know that there was something here. You'd know that there was something here, but actually the paint itself would be so wild that you'd need to look a little bit and adjust your gaze and stare a little bit more, just for a bit of the fun. Are you understanding what I'm saying here, Barnaby? Ah, you weren't listening to the art critique at all. You just wanted the ball thrown. I get it. And then we have this top part of the background. All these lines, a little bit of structure coming in here through a few different parts, but largely pretty wild. So then we stand back and you see the picture. You'll start to see a few of those structural lines appearing, but broken up in this wild symphony of colour. And then the idea of a boy here, you might see the boy staring out. We really wanted to capture the direction of his gaze, not so much his form. Because like I say, in this, there's less form, but more direct gaze. And in the pup, straight at you. So you've got line from the gaze, which almost matches up with some of the structure here to really cast it through that way. And then little puppy here, doing his little thing. And that's our painting. Let me see how that looks on the smaller version there. Pretty fun. Pretty fun, pretty wild. Pretty fun, pretty wild. There's a slight change in the colour of the dog here. Those whites finally separated the dog from the background there a little bit. I think we'll do a little bit more on it though. I'm looking down in this little pocket here. I thought that was all right, but now that I see it some more, I want to attack it some more. I do want to attack it some more. Do I want to attack it some more? Let me stand back with you guys. Hold on. Do. Stand back here. It's pretty fun. I'm undecided. Let's take it down for now and give it some time to sit. Let's see if we continue to think that we're in that finished window. Put this one down here. 1 second, team. There we are. Now, I have to, thanks David, I appreciate you. I have to, is that you disagreeing or agreeing, Violet? What's going on here? What do you reckon, Wilson? You're looking at it, mate. Yay or nay? Barnaby? They're really not giving me anything to work with. Did I finish Lady Liberty? Ooh, I have not yet, but we've got a couple of little projects we're dabbling with at the moment. Speaking of projects, I'm going to go grab Hula Girl. When I go get her, I've got to grab some eggs as well, and then we have to make the paint because I ran out yesterday. So that won't be too hard though. We'll only do about 6 eggs. I've got a sink right there to wash my hands in. So we're going to go for a little bit. Is there a thing? Am I able to put a little timer on this? People like me were not supposed to use technology. Let me have a little look-see here. Music, stickers, effects. Effects? Is there a timer effect? I think I'm dreaming. Series, subscriptions, hosts, guests. Boom, 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 boom. More. This looks like the options. Pause live. Okay, guys, I'm going to run in and get the resources I need and come on back. I'm going to pause the live, if that's a thing. And I'm going to pause it for up to 3 minutes. You can pause. Your live will freeze after you pause. In each live, you can pause for up to 3 minutes. And up to 3 minutes and 5 minutes each time. You can pause up to 3 times and 5 minutes each time. Perfect. I'm going to try the pause feature out. We've never used it before, and I'll be back shortly. How's that sound? See you soon, guys, with our Maui Hula Girl, which is going to be pretty exciting. And we are back with our lovely Maui dancer. Let's flick this here. Bang! Fantastic. We're on a good stage, but don't get excited. I did not get time to mix the paint. So bear with me while we get that sorted. There we go. That goes there. That goes there. And then we have a little container here. Okay. Ooh, I left one thing out. I need to grab my container for the paint. 1 second, un momento. You can come with me if you want, Barnaby. Follow me and everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, just like me. Long as no one knows, then nobody can care. You're feeling guilty, I'm well aware. You don't look ashamed, and baby, I'm not scared. I'm singing, follow me, and everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night, and if you wanna leave, I can guarantee. Who's Barnaby? Barnaby is the dog, and Barnaby rocks up all the time, gives me the ball, I throw the ball, Barnaby's happy. And then on the other side of us, John, if you haven't seen them yet, we've got our two inquisitive friends over here. We've got Violet and we've got Wilson. Both lovely and friendly. Isn't that right? Yes, indeed. Normally Wilson doesn't come and hang out without his old mate Riley, but must be too cold out there for you, eh? Or are you and Riley fighting? There's two horses. The other one's called Riley. But Wilson's typically the... I like Wilson the most. Wilson's the roughest. He does the most bucking and things like that. But Wilson's very friendly. Okay, let's grab a seat here. I know you've got a ball. I know you do. It's very exciting. I'm very proud of you. But you're very distracting because I need to make this stuff. And once I start cracking eggs, you're going to get wildly excited. I can already tell. All right, let's get this down here. We'll see how it goes with Barnaby here, but I get the feeling... Hey, Hitty. Welcome on in. I get the feeling that you're going to be very distracting. We'll see. We will see. Right. Let's take those and put those down here. No. Let's see how we go. We're in the middle of a horse stable at the moment. No. We're not eating these eggs, guys. Barnaby, sit. Sit. Barnaby. Good boy. There we go. Egg number 1. You've been a good boy. You could make this process a lot harder for me, and you're not, and I really appreciate that. There we go. As long as no one knows, then nobody can care. Here we go. So like I say, we just need about 4 eggs here, guys. And thanks, Crystal Rose. I appreciate you. Welcome to TikTok, by the way. No. Sit. Sit. Barnaby. Good boy. Proud of you. Very, very proud of you, Barnaby. And so we're just getting some more eggs going at the moment. going to need about 4 or 5, and then we're good to go. There we go. A little bit more. Barnaby. Sit. Barnaby. Barnaby. You know what I'm saying. Sit. You can smell that yolk. He's getting very enthusiastic. Why don't you just drop the whole yolk in? Because the yolk has a, it's called the membrane, which is around it. And the membrane isn't good for painting with. You just want the yolk inside the membrane. So we crack the egg. We get rid of the shell. I keep half the shell here with a little bit of egg white and the yolk inside it. The shell's the best way to peel it off there. You get rid of the whole egg like that. Roll it from hand to hand. Barnaby, sit. 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 You're embarrassing me in front of everyone. No, Barnaby, sit. Sit. Down, down. Good boy. Jeepers creepers, Barnaby. There we go. That's enough egg yolks there. Perfect. Perfecto. There's our container there. All the egg yolks we need. We're going to put this somewhere high so Barnaby doesn't freak out, which is fair enough. We'll throw the ball for Barnaby. There we go. Wipe our hands clean. But that's not all we're going to put into the egg tempura here. We're adding, what's the Hawaiian painting called? Great question. And Maui Strong. I like it. I like it, Steve. It's called Maui Strong, Hitty. It's called Maui Strong. And the next step we're doing here, this can go in here, and then we have a paste, which I've got somewhere down in here, which we're going to add in. No. Where is it? Here we go. Semi-gloss. I'm going to grab this brush here. Here we are. Semi-gloss. Soft gel semi-gloss. Just going to add a little bit of an acrylic touch to it. Just a bit of this. There we go. Beautiful. And we're going to stir this into it. Beautiful. Just like that. And what this does is it gets those yolks and it adds a little bit of, beautiful. Basically creates this, I'm going to show you in just a second once it's all mixed, but very, very thick. See that there? It's almost like a custard. Perfect. And it's going to dry with this amazing quality of paint. And it's going to dry with the, it's going to reflect light incredibly, have an impasto texture, slightly glossy. It's going to dry incredibly fast, so we have to work fast here. And it's also going to take gouache paint, which is very handy. So let me walk you through that whole process. We have our plate here. You get a big dollop of this, like this. So you can see it's going to function quite similar to normal paint here. Big lumps coming in here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not the whole lot of it. We'll save a little bit in case we want to do a colour swap. Here we go. And you can see that's the thickness of what we're dealing with. Very, very handy. Less runny, very strong. I like it. I like Maui Strong. I like Maui Strong a lot, Steve. And the fact it pops into your mind, I'm a big fan of it. Now, let me have a little look-see here. What are our colours going to be, Barnaby? Let's kick the ball for you. There you go, buddy. And let's get this down here. Let's bring up our picture for Maui Strong. We're going to put it over on this. Bring that to here. Perfect. And the first colour off the ranks, the first colour, is going to be our magentas and our pinks. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now you've got to keep the paint up high in this situation, because if you let it go down low, what's going to happen? Barnaby's going to smell the egg in it, Barnaby's going to try it. We don't want that. That's bad. The egg does not smell whatsoever. It basically dries immediately. I can't smell any egg right now at all. Barnaby, I guess Barnaby can. Much more heightened nose, but after it dries, has 0 scent whatsoever, completely hardens, and it locks in the colour for, so far, The Last Supper, painted with egg tempera, all these old paintings that are done with it, they last for going on 2,500 years. So if you want to get a painting that lasts, obviously UV protection and general humidity and all this sort of stuff comes into it, but egg tempera will go the distance, provided you prep the surface correctly. If you have things like the wrong sizing and binder, the wrong sizing and priming of the actual work, then over time the surface can rot, ruin the paint, etc. Sorry, the backing, like the wood, if you paint on wood, wood rots after thousands of years, naturally, so avoid that. This one here is on a PCP panel. So the PCP panel's been sanded with, Wilson's got bored of this conversation, sanded with 220 grit sandpaper, and then it's had a sizing coat put onto it, an acrylic sizing coat, then lightly sanded again, and then it's had its gesso coat put onto it. The gesso coat, it's already fine after the sizing, but the gesso coat means that it'll grip to the sizing layer, and the sizing protects the paint from the surface, in this case, PCP panel. And then the gesso helps the paint itself cling to the sizing layer. So it's like baking a cake with all these different layers to strengthen it. And then once that's on there, you can lightly sand that. I leave the texture of the gesso, and then you can paint over it. Once you're finished painting, you don't put a varnish on it. That's what's really interesting about this. If you put a varnish on it, you lose that iridescent quality that you get from the egg tempera. So after you've finished painting it, you keep it out of the sun. But most importantly, if you really want to protect it, you get a UV shield and put it between the painting and the world. And provided you do everything correctly, lock the humidity out of the actual framing process, etc., that piece should last for going on 2,500 years. Perfect, Steve. Loving to hear it. And ECE, I do indeed, but not the kind that you're probably thinking of. Which is more appropriate that my vision was what I'm following that. Better get back to work. Fair enough, Hitty. Thanks for joining on in. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. Let me show you this. These lumps of paint here, strong gouache pigment. We get this here. See how that mixes? Thick like a paste. And then as soon as I combine it with the gouache, you see that colour's adopted into it, just like that, and you get this really, really potent pink. That's what we want, pink with texture. So this is a really, really fun way to paint with tempera, but also with texture, because you get that pigment there. Look at that. That's the pigment we're working with, intense pigment. And the cool thing about this as a painting style is, you know how normally you paint with acrylics, and then after you've painted with them, they dry, and when they dry, they become tacky. They lose some of their colour power. With this, the opposite happens. As these dry, their intensity, the transparency, the power in the colour gets more intense. So that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. And who's that there? French Bulldog. Great name. Yes. In fact, this one here will be off to the States. The other one I was working on is staying here in New Zealand, but a lot of these works go to the States. So in terms of shipping and things like that, that's all been done a million times before. You're in good hands. Voila. Yes, that's basically what you're going for. If you describe oil paints as looking like butter, you'd explain this kind of egg tempera, this thick textured egg tempera, as being more like custard. And it dries looking like a opaque gem. It's really strange in the most incredible way, but it's very, very unique, guys. it does bring a whole new meaning to seeing a painting in the flesh, because the way the light is captured inside of it is fairly unique. Pretty special. I'm going to use this here. And I like it too because I can get quite muted with my tones as I apply the paint. And then once I'm actually finished painting, they will increase their saturation. Other paints don't do that. They either go darker or lighter or more tacky. This increases its saturation as it dries. Wild, truly wild. The only thing you have to watch out for is it dries so incredibly fast. Oh, yep, no, got that. French Bulldog 2, you can inquire via the website. All links are in the bio, and I can let you know what the go is. Or you can jump straight on the commission link. Tell me the size you're after. Where in the States you are, that's also important. And we can see if we can't get a project out to you. Do a project together. I'm going to be taking a random guess and say you're after a French Bulldog, which is pretty fun. Oh, thanks, Steve. But it's early days. It's early days. We need to keep this paint going onto it in just the right places and building it up just right. And with a bit of luck, we'll get something quite special out of it. But with any painting, you are rolling dice. You are rolling dice. And so we don't know which direction it could go in at this stage. But I'm glad we were able to share the way in which this gets made, because that's pretty fun. There we go. A little bit more through here. Now I'm going to leap across into a slightly different colour. Mix this one up. This is a deep purple. It's going to come out like a intense-ish pink. There we go. Dabble this around here a little bit. Bring it in here. Beautiful. Thanks, Daniel, and hello to Mexico. How you doing? All images aside, are you married? I'm not married. With a bit of luck, one day I will be. Here we go. Not married, not available. But that's okay, because you can be here and we can share a little bit of love. The platonic, wholesome, better kind. We can have that together right now. And that strikes me as a little bit more important. Aurora, you're an absolute champion. Toby has lost interest. Toby's out there doing his own thing. That's the cat. I was very surprised to see Toby for as long as we saw him yesterday. I don't know why he wanted anything to do with us yesterday, but I think he just felt left out. That's the major one. Good that you've been here for both sessions, Ryan. To know about Toby being here or not, it's kind of funny. There we go. Coming down here low, but not too low that Barnaby thinks he can start eating the paint, but low enough that I can get some more colours and saturation down in these rocks. These rocks don't want to look foreboding. Oh, little sneeze from Barnaby. They want to look welcoming. Saturated, no. Bad Barnaby. They want to look welcoming and intensified. And there's two reasons why Barnaby can't. There we go. Beautiful. Ball. There you go, buddy. And JB, welcome on into the shooting box. We're here creating the lovely Hawaiian princess. One little wild layer at a time. Can come down here. Whoop. There we go. Beautiful. Just a little bit in there. Dabble with it over the crown. Perfect. Letting those impasto textures have a little bit more of an impact now. As we come into our fifth coat, we can start letting the textures build up a little bit because we've got confidence on where these shapes are going to be. And so we can add some texture into these rocks as we build more and more confidence in what the end result may look like. Get more of that pink in with the paint here, lovely. And let that just cascade down here just a wee bit. Lovely, across the end of the fingers there, just a touch, not too much. Cool. Next color in here, a little bit of this. It's going to seem like the same tone, but it's slightly different. And the reason I want to add this one in here is we don't want just a simple pink. Pink, 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 pink. It wants to be a multi-layered depth to the pink color we're using. And to do that, you need to welcome in multiple shades of pink, magenta. So this is two magenta shades, very, very similar, very similar. In fact, if you made them black and white, they'd look like the same shade. But the hue is slightly different, ever so slightly, so lightly different that now, unless I told you right now, you'd probably miss it and be completely forgiven for it, don't get me wrong. Yeah, well that's the thing. As we get really splashy with these colors and put them all over the show, especially through here, you'll notice a lot of smaller movements inside the brush strokes. That's capturing the flowers inside her outfit. And then down here in these rocks, they'll include the same colors and have their own style of brush strokes. So it'll look like she's on something with a strong foundation, but the colors won't have that deep foreboding black look. They'll have more of a, like you say, a flowery look, because the flowers through her body here link into the ground. And sort of show that in a, if you want to put a metaphor behind it, connection with the earth, I think is a fair way to put it. Is a fair way to put it. That's the sort of direction we want to charge off in. Where do you want this to go, buddy? Wah! I feel bad because I'm holding the paint here and just lazily kicking the ball for Barnaby, but at the same time, we do need to throw around some paint because we're on limited time. We're on, I've got, what is it, 10 past 1 at the moment. And if it's 10 past 1 at the moment, so I've got to get into town through some traffic to make sure I can photograph these works. Not this work, but other works. We will be photographing this one. There we go. Lovely. Next colour off the ranks is going to be bada bing ba boom, citrus yellow. Let's just get this over here. You and you. Okay. Naples yellow and citrus yellow. Danny, I'm doing fantastic. Welcome on in. Naples yellow. Naples yellow is an absolutely beautiful colour, even when I can't speak right because of paintbrushes in my mouth. Naples yellow is one of the most beautiful colours on the face of the planet. Old paint masters used to say to their students, "Where's your Naples?" to their paintings, because it was such a beautiful colour that was expected. It's like a parchment colour with just the teeniest shade of yellow in it. And so it was used in a lot of different areas. Skin tone's one of the things. Has a beautiful, beautiful effect on skin tone. So it's argued to be a must in that sense. But for me personally, I dabble with it. I typically throw Naples yellow into the background to add more of a, this is going to sound so juxtaposition or paradoxical, but to create a, I shouldn't have said that because I lost my trail of thought, a lively muted effect. And Goofy MR, you're an absolute legend. I appreciate you. Beautiful and oh, thank you. I know. It's fair enough. You want the ball thrown? Oh, I understand. I'm going to get it for you. Here we go. Up and over. Good on you, mate. He's had a lot of throws today. He's been well looked after. Let's get a fresh paintbrush though, team. When you move into yellows, guys, or whites, it is so important that you swap your brush out. You can't clean it well enough because those pinks, in this case deep magentas, will stay on the inside of the brush and then it will just turn the colour to more of an off-shot salmon. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with an off-shot salmon, but part of the beauty in this is the purity in those colours in the sky. Since the blues are softer, these little parts through here, softer, if we add off-shot salmon, it'll just overpower the blues. Like this area here, which we haven't touched yet. See how that sort of feels? That's that salmon colour. We're going to change it in there, but it has to have this more lively, lighter, sun-kissed feel, rather than this deeper, hey, there's a bit of red in my yellow colour. So if you're feeling like your colours aren't as lively, probably you need a fresh brush. There's a saying in there, I reckon. There's a saying in there about life. In terms of starting with a fresh brush to have the best chance of making a difference. Does it represent anything or have meaning? Well, that's a great question. Because if art is judged by a viewer, do I need to tell you that it has meaning for you to enjoy it? If you see beauty in it, couldn't you establish your own subjective meaning inside the artwork and just leave me out of it? And if you can't, if I went out today and I tragically passed away without telling you what this painting meant, would it never mean anything to anyone? In that last situation, the answer would be no. It could mean something to someone. And therefore, my ability to explain to you what it means is largely irrelevant to your ability to enjoy it. Now, I could tell you some things to hopefully aid on your own personal journey, but at the end of the day, I'm largely irrelevant to that journey. You're on it yourself. And that's the beauty behind art. I mean, I know the artist makes the artwork, good for them, but it's your perception of the artwork. It's what you like, it's how you feel. And think of it like music. We don't really care about Frank Sinatra. It's how the music makes us feel. I don't want to know what Frank Sinatra's favourite breakfast cereal is. That's a lie, I do actually. That'd be a fun fact. But the point of that is, it's your interpretation or your consuming of whatever it is that makes whatever it is relevant. On that note though, it is a lovely lady, a dancer from Maui, and she's in a position right now, a wild brush strokes, a bit of a crazy style to it. There's a organic nature in it, which is the green. She's got leaves on her. There's a breaking down of the physical body composition that you'd normally see through things like her crown piece made out of nature. Her hand pieces, like pom-poms, they break down the conventional hands. I love this one up here because it makes her hand turn more into an explosion when it's more just pieces of nature around her wrist. And then the way she melts into the sea. The other thing I love too is that the sea is very, very hard to spot. It kind of seems like it's more sky, as if the ground starts here and the sky's just up here and who knows what that is. Now that pit there tells you that there's something on the horizon in the background, a little island with some trees coming up behind her. That sort of notifies you in what kind of environment she's in. But more importantly, the sea doesn't have a sea colour to it, because in this part of the world it's so beautiful, the sea reflects the sky. And so the sea here is in your yellows and your slightly muted blues, just like up here, because why would the sea have its own colour? It's reflecting the sky. The only reason why you spot the sea is because it takes a change. You've got the same colours, no change. Same colours, but you see the sea start because you go from these flowing sun-kissed environments at the top here into a more jarred, stirred up ocean behind her. But the most important thing about this ocean is it doesn't have it's got depth to it. It has it in the depth, but predominantly, cosmetically, the actual appearance of it, is just a reflection of the sky. So I hope I explained that well. Love me some chaos. Thanks, JB. Looks like a Hawaiian princess accepting her position from the gods to rule. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. It's signifying or solidifying or acknowledging the power and the love and the strength of those people in Maui. So that's what the painting stands to do. It wants to have movement in it. One thing that can happen when you paint, especially people or statues, is that you paint them and they just... Dog's like, you're in a silly position. And they seem frozen. So they're frozen like this. And when you freeze them, you do revere them and glorify them, but you capture them in a frozen moment and therefore honor their, like, almost like a statue where you honor what it was or previously was, or capture a frozen moment, and it's almost like capturing history. We don't want to capture history here. You don't want to feel like the dancer was in this moment and then the moment's gone. These wild brushstrokes want to make it feel like you're looking in the middle of a moment, and if you glanced away for a moment, she'd continue to move, or this action would continue to have life in it. That's really important. And so to get that effect mechanically, I mean, you need to transpose it, and that takes emotion, yes, but to get it mechanically, big moving strokes, splashing, engaging, impasto textures, and larger movements that scare you and wouldn't feel so comfortable making. But think any stroke over 3 inches. That stuff there is gonna, when a human sees that, they'll know that a brush has made that movement. Attach that movement of the brush with movement within the picture, and you're gonna get an overall feeling of vitality. But that's essential for this one. So big movements are gonna be key to make sure you get the overall feel of a lady dancing. Dancing or engaging in life. It just needs to feel lively. Speaking of feeling lively, you want your ball thrown? Fair enough. Here we go. Up we go, and whoo, good on you, buddy. Okay, back to where we were. Citrus yellows, Naples yellow. Naples yellow is slightly weaker than citrus yellow, so we're going to mix that in first. Here we go. Just like this. And then we're going to start dabbling with a little bit, like I say, bigger strokes. Get more etchy with how we add it on. Catching that movement. Not getting too far out though to make it dry. Otherwise, with all these warm tones we've added, it might start feeling like more of a desert. And we don't want that. And to stop it from feeling like a desert when we're capturing warmth, we need to make sure all the strokes stay wet. They have to stay wet. And as long as they stay wet, then you won't get the idea of dryness, but you will get the idea of heat. There we go. I'm going to come right up into this corner up here. Hold on, Barnaby. Hold on, mate. Hold on. It's that song, hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. Hey, Father, I'm lost, 'cause this house don't feel like home. Hold on to me. There we go. Beautiful. I know, Barnaby. We'll get round to you. So I'm a little unsteady. Coming on down. You need to be patient, Barney. Patience is a virtue. Here we go. Alrighty. I need to get a little bit of this in here. A little bit of this here. There we go. Down that goes. Oh, sorry, guys. Just, here we go. This is going to make it run just a little bit nicer. It's very thick. That's going to chill it out just a wee bit. Perfecto. There we go. Hold on, Barnaby. You gotta let me get a couple of these strokes in here. There we go. Good transparency bubbling up over the top here. Coming right up the top. Getting that sun-kissed feeling. This is going to cascade over those blues a little bit, but it's going to make the blues fit in more. Rather than feeling like they're on top of the picture, they're going to feel like more of an element inside the sky. That's what we're after. Making it all feel a continuity. Kind of bounce over those oranges a little bit too. Maple's yellow is going to help everything feel more at home together, rather than feeling like a whole bunch of juxtaposed, awkward brush strokes. They're all going to work as a team. That's the plan. There we go. A little bit around here. Beautiful. Keep it coming up through here as well. That yellow's really intense right here up in the middle, but it's good because it makes it feel like sun rays coming down. But we're just going to tone it back just a wee bit. Dabble with these through here. Getting close to the face here, that's okay. Just want to make sure we don't get. There we are. And we're coming to the jaw here a little bit, just a teeny bit. Is that all? No, I can cross that nose there a tiny bit. There we are. Finally, a new background. I'm sorry, Kay Newley. I'm glad we fixed that though. How much are you selling this painting for, Kay Newley? This painting already has a home, but it will be available in print form. So if you'd like to get a print, I mean, I'm not quite sure when they'll be available, but I will let you know. So stay in the loop via TikTok or I'll tell you on one of the lives actually. There's no need to go follow me anywhere else. I'll tell you when they're up. I'll be like, yo, on the next live. It's up, it's up, it's up. With a bit of luck, if I can get my ducks in a row, we'll have Ernest Hemingway prints available tonight. But we'll see. We will see. Depends how we get on with these prints, these photographs we're going to take today. We got jobs all over the show, team. Jobs all over the show. And Seb's avoiding all of them by being in here painting, because it's what makes me happy. Sue me. Hey LJ, how we doing? And have you decided when you'll be giving away that framed print? I haven't yet. I've had some really, really cool ideas come in though, team. Really, really cool ideas of how to actually do it, but we haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet. So I will let you know. But yes, for everyone who's not certain of what's going on there, I was talking with the team about how to possibly go about giving away a print. But if you have an idea for how to run, not so much a competition, but to get art into a home that would otherwise not have it, we're not talking about, hey, I can afford a print, but it'd be cool to get one for free. We're talking about, hey, this person could get a lot from having art in their home. Here's why. Can we try and support them? That's what we want to be doing here. So we just need to figure out what's the best way to do that. Do we have like a form you can fill out to tell me who do you reckon deserves it the most? You know, where in the world they live and things, so I know how to ship to them. Or do we, I don't know, do you just DM me? A lot of people have said do like a competition of some sort, and you can decide through likes and things, like, you know, vote on people's. But yeah, it's still early days, guys. I need to figure out the best way to do it as fair as possible and lead with intentions of the idea that actually we want it to reach a home that needs it. Not a home that wants it, a home that needs it. Because a lot of the time art only goes to homes that can afford or want it. They don't go to homes that need it. And when we talk about art being a vitalizing source or making you happy, there are homes that could benefit from that. And so, no, we can't afford to put originals in some of those homes all the time, but we can. We can afford to put a print in there. Not all the time, but we could start. We could make a start. I reckon that's pretty cool. I reckon that's pretty cool. But I'm still working on the idea of how. What-a-ta. Okie dokie. Let's have a look-see here. Up through this thing here and then down here. Ball. Oh, good boy. Barnaby says hi back. Hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. Hey, Father. That's all stuck in my head now. Now we're going to bring in some of those yellows. Powerful yellows, strong yellows. And let them just dabble around a few of these little pockets. And they're going to work with the Naples yellows quite nicely. They have a lot of presence in terms of how it's going to make the overall colour palette feel. Adding that warmth into it very subtly. Because Naples yellow by itself, if left unattended, can make a painting, I know Barnaby, can make a painting slightly colder. And we don't want a cold effect, we want a hot, warming effect. Here we go, buddy. Up and over, bumper. Nice, 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 nice. But we can't overdo it, otherwise we undo all our beauty in the Naples. So, there's always this balancing act. Enough yellow, citrus yellow, to bring energy to the Naples, but not too much that you overpower the Naples and turn the whole painting into a lemon. Oh, literally and figuratively. Ha, funny. There we go. A little bit around here. Beautiful. Down the crevasse. And then we get a little bit. Yeah, now we're talking to it. And into the costume here. Good, good, good. Down here, just a few touches. Nice, and down through here. Beautiful. Man, we're getting some... Oh, we lost connection for a moment there. Uh-oh. And we're back. We are back, we are back. Perfect. Thought you guys were going to be gone forever then for a moment. There we go. Little bits of yellow through this Naples. Just a bit more up through here. There we go. And a bit more through there. Beautiful. Next color off the ranks is going to be a bunch of blue. Blue. And then 1:30. Then I need to dash. All right. Last color off the ranks is going to be blue, and then your boy needs to go do some photography. Otherwise, there'll be no new prints, which isn't the end of the world, but let's stay on top of this stuff. There we go. Beautiful. blue into this. Yeah, here we go. Not just blue though, let's get some white as well. So I want to get a spectrum going on here. That's my black. Here's my white. Lovely. Here we go. Not too much white, just a little bit. Wah! Lazily kicking the dog's ball rather than actually throwing it. Shocking of me. But anyway, here we are. Just move you back here a little bit. Both of our horses have bailed on us now, so it's just us. Which is still fun, but all right. Crystal, wishing you all the very best for your exam too. Pleasure to have you here while you're studying. But, yeah, I reckon you'll nail your exam. Of course you will. What is it for, by the way? What is the exam for? These are the big questions. Farm. Oh, that is a big exam. All right. Well, I tragically have to run off after this blue tone goes in, but I wish you all the best for that exam. We'll probably catch each other live before your exam anyway, but in case we don't, myself and hopefully the other 45 people here wish you the best of luck. Here we go, just a few little sun-kissed moments in here. This blue pairing beautifully by matching the tones of the yellow, but being a slightly colder hue. It's not going to make the whole picture cold, but it's going to add a refreshing element into the water. And we're going to obviously put a little bit in the sky too to keep that continuity that I was talking about, of making one area feel like the other area. There we go. Zuma's feeling left out. I couldn't let Zuma be in here while we were painting, guys, because he's got a inclination to run away. He gets really excited about ducks and birds, and so when a duck or bird comes along, he is gone burger, chasing it. So, as much as I'd love to have him join in, unfortunately, we cannot. There we go. There's actually a little bit of a cloud bank that sneaks in here that we're going to capture. So we're going to make it too intense to start with, and then we're going to cut over the top of it with just a little bit of white to make it show up. But it sort of goes across her head there a little bit. He looks a little older. Oh, jeepers. I get told I look a little younger sometimes. I must be squinting too much or frowning too much. You're not allowed to say that, guys. You're supposed to say, oh, he looks so young for his age. He looks a little older. You're lucky I'm very comfortable in my skin. Say that to the wrong lady. Oh my God, a supermarket checkout person said it to my partner. She was IDing us and she says, oh, she's okay. And we're like, whoa. You can't be saying that. It's done innocently, obviously, but can't be saying that. There we go. A little bit more through there. A little bit more, mix that in there. Dabble with it there. You've been very good and patient. I will throw that ball for you. Here we go. Up and over. People always ask your age and it gets old. In fact, it gets older every time someone asks. If you give it to them exactly, do you reckon they'll ask more or less? They're like, how old are you? You said 30 years, 14 days, 35 minutes, and 20 seconds. Maybe there could be an app that tells you exactly how old you are if you input your age. And it keeps updating constantly to make sure the information's correct. There we go, team. This is the finishing touches of this blue. We're going to get a little bit more white in here. Give us a very, very bright baby blue, pastel blue, sort of. Get that big lump off there. There we go. I'm just going to splash it around a wee bit. This is going to be in these clouds. We're not going to do the exact effect I was talking about with the clouds right now, but we are going to add it in here in a way that is going to let us, there we go, come in later with the whites. Transparent whites, guys, not something too intense, just transparent. There we go. They're down in here. Beautiful clumps. That's what I'm after. Oh, big strokes coming in towards the body there. And we're going to dabble with this a little bit more up here. And then we're just going to get a few little touches in here. Very, very thick impasto, rolling around the brush. Getting these last little moments of these flowers. A few more. A little bit more blue. Just a little bit more blue. And just a few of these waves. There we go. All right, team. Where are we at? 36. Yes, I need to dash. I need to dash. I've got a big clean-up job here. I'm going to have a little bit of a bite to eat, and then I'm going to charge off and get some works with some high-res shots done and go from there. Not in your studio. Are you at home? Mac Attack. We've moved around a little bit. This is a horse stables without horses in it. Just Barnaby. Just you, buddy? Wanting the ball thrown all the time. Fair enough. With a bit of luck, we'll be back tomorrow morning, and we're going to be working on this one first and foremost, and then we've got another exciting one that we might be doing on Instagram, but I'll give you all the deets when I know. Apart from that, look after yourselves, guys. If it's morning, noon, or night, you want the ball thrown, don't you? Here you go, buddy. Hope you're looking after yourself. Hope you're happy, and sending love from... They went behind a box. I better go grab that. Sending love from the horse stables here in New Zealand. Wishing you all the best, guys. See you for now. Bye. Hey, Barnaby, you've been sent a cuddle. That's so lovely. Appreciate it, guys. See ya.